Welcome to Season 3 of the nationally recognized, award-winning Yours in Education show, where we spotlight the incredible people, programs, and partnerships shaping the future of students and families across Placer County. Today, a juvenile detention center, a county jail, a high school diploma that almost didn't happen, and a teacher changing lives one desk at a time. This show is all about second chances and the people who make them possible.
I was able to actually graduate in December, which was like skimming it by the last minute.
Desperate people do desperate things, and so we're fighting against that.
There's no limit on what you can do if you have a little hope.
It's more than that. I want them to be able to also appreciate and value the community and have a happy life.
Today, 4 stories, one theme. It's never too late to learn and never too late for a second chance. This is Yours in Education. Welcome to a brand new season of Yours in Education, brought to you by the Placer County Office of Education. I'm your host, Kellie DeMarco, and with me as always is the Placer County Superintendent of Schools, Gayle Garbolino-Mojica. Welcome, Gayle.
Thank you.
Gayle has so much experience, nearly 2 decades. She has been a visionary leader and a fierce advocate for students and families all across Placer County. Her commitment to excellence in public education has made a lasting impact, not just here, but throughout the state of California. And under Gayle's leadership, students continue to thrive and Placer County continues to set the standard. So this is such a celebratory time of the year. We have graduations, we have promotions, celebrating student success. Talk about this time of year and what this means to you.
Kelly, one of the favorite times of the year for me is the month of May, when we celebrate our Placer County Employees of the Year. And we have a big reception, and we recognize everybody who was nominated. And then the following days, I head out and I award one individual employee in one of the categories, whether it's Certificated Teacher of the Year or Classified Clerical Employee of the Year or School Counselor of the Year. I get to go out and award them and let them know that they are Placer County Employee of the Year. And it's my favorite week out of the whole entire school year.
It must be hard to pick, by the way, because there's so many incredible people that we've had the honor of meeting. How do you even pick?
Well, we have a very competitive process, and we have a panel of people who, with the certificated teachers, for example, we have interviews and we videotape lessons. With classified, we go upon the reviews and recommendations from their supervisors. It's very competitive, but we really enjoy doing that. And every year we get to see what makes Placer County so special, and that is with the quality of the teachers and the quality of the support staff that we have here, and it's just an opportunity to celebrate them, and I couldn't have it any other way.
I bet. Well, speaking of celebrating, Gayle threw out the first pitch at a baseball game. This stresses me out to even think about it.
I was stressed out.
But you did well. We have video of it. Tell us what this was.
Well, you're being generous when you said I did well. I had a colleague in there, and she said, well, good news is you threw it straight. But I was up there. There were 2 students who were probably in 2nd and 3rd grade who were on the mound and threw a dart to the catcher. So I went up there, and I had to come off the mound a little bit. I needed to be a little closer, and all I can say was, well, it was straight. It didn't quite hit the catcher's mitt the way that I wanted it to, but this year at least I was straight.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. Don't be stressed about the pitch.
I know, next year I'll be better.
Next year will be better. So we have a big show. I want to talk about, kind of switching gears a little bit, because we talk about graduation and milestones, but look, every student's journey does not look the same. And so we were talking a little bit about that today, the fact that no student gets left behind when life gets in the way. Talk about that a little bit, because you have offered some wonderful programs to help them succeed.
Kelly, a lot of people ask, what does the county office do? And one of the things that we're really proud of is the variety of programs that we have for children and students who are maybe not necessarily fitting in the ways that many students fit in our traditional public schools. Placer County Office of Education runs a variety of alternative education programs, consisting from our charter school that has a program called I Care and Comeback, and all the way up to, running the program, the educational program at our court school. And people don't understand that when youth get picked up and are incarcerated for a period of time, they still need to be educated. And so who is responsible for providing that education? Well, in Placer County, the Placer County Office of Education is the entity that is responsible for providing that education. And it's hard sometimes when we're working in our court school, because students may be booked and they may stay 3 days, and we're responsible for teaching them those 3 days. And then sometimes they may stay 3 weeks or 3 months. Or maybe even 18 months. And so every kid is different and the circumstances are different, but we take our obligation very seriously and make sure that we provide them a high quality public education that meets their needs at that particular point in time in their life.
We're about to go much deeper into this and show you what that looks like up close, but what is something that you want people to know? Because even just being there and doing the interviews, I was very surprised at, I think these programs give these students hope no matter what age they are.
I think it's important to realize that we have a portion of our population where the traditional public school is not something where they're going to be successful, and they need an alternative. And there are a variety of alternatives that are out there. We feel very proud of the alternatives that we can provide. And for many kids coming in, it's the reset, or it is the path that they find themselves most successful. And so we have students, in some of our programs that choose to stay longer because this is the longest they've been successful in public education or in their educational journey. And so maybe they gather some skills, maybe they gather some study skills, maybe they gather some self-confidence before they can head back to their traditional public schools. So it's a real need. And it's very important because many of these students are very, very successful once they graduate or leave our programs.
Well, so grateful that you offer this service. And let's take a closer look, because as we've been talking about, one of the things that makes Placer County's Office of Education so remarkable is their commitment to students, and it doesn't stop at school. It actually follows them into some of the hardest places imaginable. So our first story today takes us to the Honour Schaps Court School in Auburn. Every student deserves access to an education, including those in juvenile detention. What you're about to see is about much more than meeting a legal requirement. It's about changing lives through the power of education.
These are the students, the youth, who have been given a lot of challenges to help them find a voice for themselves, to help them go forward. To me, is the most rewarding thing.
Honour Schaps Court School is a program for incarcerated youth. We service students in Placer County and surrounding counties. We provide high-quality instruction. It doesn't matter what the students have done. We look at them as kids sitting in the seat ready to learn, and that's what we do.
There really is no typical day. Every day is kind of an adventure.
When we get the roster in the morning, we kind of have an idea of our ages and some idea about who's in our class.
The teachers move, the students don't. They have to take all their supplies with them. They have to count them before they go into the classroom so they know what they're taking in. They use things like rubber pencils, rubber pens.
So one of the reasons why I got into this position was I wanted something that was challenging. How do I help support this kid? And how do I get them back on track into their education so that they can go back and be successful in the community?
The amount of effort that's going on behind the scenes is tremendous. There's a lot of resources going into each and every kid to meet their needs, because when they come to us, they're at different levels.
The teamwork is crucial to success. We work together on a daily basis. We meet every day, we talk every day, and we just help each other.
I teach art, so I go in there once a week and give them an opportunity to express themselves, and this is a space for them to practice being that person that they want to be on the outside.
They see that we know that this is a difficult phase in their life and that we ultimately want what's best for them.
when I bring these opportunities to the students, just seeing kind of a shift in their accountability and how they can be responsible for the outcome of their life. They're not stuck where they currently are.
And to recognize that they earned college credit, and you can't take college credit away. It's theirs.
We've taken a student that was so disenfranchised, so lost, and then we've found a way for them to make those little baby steps of making progress. So I think that's ultimately why I show up every day.
Second chances are huge. Thirds and fourths also, and we're going to meet them where they're at, and we're going to do everything we can, whether they want us to or not, to hopefully get them on the right foot, to have some sort of success.
It's so much bigger than academics. It's about people. The tiniest of a win matters.
Just knowing that you can change the trajectory of someone's life is very impactful. If we just reach one student, that's enough.
Well, for some students, the path to a high school diploma is not a straight line. And for Layla Daneshear, it was a journey through mental health challenges, self-doubt, and a moment where she almost gave up entirely. But Placer County's iCare Comeback program gave her a second chance, and she took it.
The first year when I was at the regular public school, I had a flare-up with my OCD, so a lot of obsessive thoughts all the time, and I couldn't really keep up with what was being taught. I felt kind of slow, but also a lot of depressive episodes, so I wasn't in school a lot. My sister-in-law thought it would be a good idea to check out this program, so I started immediately after the summer, after the last high school experience.
The Comeback program is an opportunity for people to earn their actual high school diploma, even if they aren't going to graduate on time, or if they were a dropout, or if they just decide later in life that they want to finally do that thing and get their actual diploma. It is absolutely open to anyone in Placer County. We've had graduates 50, 60, 70 years old. We also have a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Excellent.
She didn't make me feel stupid or anything. She just would help me a lot with maybe finding something that was more manageable at the time, and that was really helpful.
In the Comeback program, you only need to earn 1 credit a week. And so if one week you are having a rough week, you want to try to at least get that 1 credit done, but you don't have to push yourself to do, 20 hours a week of school.
I was able to actually graduate in December, which was skimming it by the last minute of turning my work in, but yeah, I was able to graduate. Being at this point in my life and having that done is really exciting, because there's a lot of opportunities that open up because of that.
I'm there to provide a structure and a system and some stuff to do, some curriculum, but I do try to remind them that it really is them. They've done the hard stuff.
There's always other options, and don't get stressed out over not being where everyone else is at the time. Keep going, don't get stuck on one thing and just give up.
So we're proud to say Layla graduated in December, and she's now working, saving up, and exploring a future in art. And Gayle, her journey is just a powerful example of resilience. Talk a little bit about what these stories say about the impact that education can have on someone's life.
Kelly, what I love about our Comeback program is we started this a handful of years ago, and we had 2 or 3 students that enrolled. And by word of mouth and connections, we've been able to grow that program to over 100 students over the last year or so. What it shows is that it's never too late to learn and to get your high school diploma. And what's different about our program is we actually give you a high school diploma. It's not a certificate of completion. It's a high school diploma from the Placer County Office of Education. And that opens up so many doors for students who maybe didn't have that opportunity in the future. And so just by the successes that we've had with our prior graduates, word of mouth, You know, I really feel that we are meeting a need in this community that we haven't met before, and I'm very proud of
You should be.
the students and our staff and what we've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, the look on her face, the confidence that that gave her, it has really changed her life. So
it is a life-changing program.
Yeah. Well, if you or someone you know could benefit from the Comeback program, you can learn more. Just go to placercoe.org. Well, second chances look different for everyone, as you know. For our next story, we go inside the Placer County Jail, where the Placer School for Adults is doing something remarkable. It's giving people who are incarcerated the tools, the skills, and the hope to come home and never go back.
Welcome, gentlemen. We work in conjunction with Placer County Sheriff's Office. All right, so we're gonna play quote roulette. We have a great community partnership with them, and we're teaching adult basic education, math and reading skills, but then we're doing a lot more into workforce readiness and workforce preparation classes to get my students ready for reentry. So some of the classes, they'll end up with a resume, a completed resume before they get out, and we're trying to turn their lives around.
When I got here, my future seemed, I was pretty hopeless about my future, and I didn't really know where I was going with life, but after taking classes and stuff, it shows me that I still have the potential to be an asset to a potential employer, and even with my record.
We push each other, like they'll pass by, hey, did you finish your homework? You know what I mean? They make sure, you know, they stop by about once a day and check on each other, you know. Are you gonna make it to class today? Or you know what I mean? And we all just pump each other up and get ready for class.
My favorite lesson on small business loans, and we go in and we make logos for small businesses. And then they get so into it that they're like, whose social security number are we putting in on this small business loan? Not mine. It doesn't work for everybody, and you have to be able to pivot and be flexible. I had one student that said, Miss Corey, this doesn't work for me at all. I am one guy, I can't work as a team, I can't do any of this, I just break stuff. No matter where I go, I wreck it. I developed a small business loan for him, Iron Wolf Demolition. I said, yeah, you're gonna work by yourself and you're gonna wreck stuff. This can be possible. Let's turn this into something that is actually possible, that will pay your bills legally.
Last time when I got out of prison, I found out that you could get hired into the federal government out of prison, right? So I got hired at the VA, and I got my foot in the door. I started in the kitchen, and then I worked myself up. I was a health tech after that. There's no limit on what you can do if you have a little hope and you just strive to be better.
So these are all students that are going to be released into my community. These are my neighbors. If they have too many limits or too many barriers to good employment, decent employment, then desperate people do desperate things, and they'll end up right back here. And the recidivism rate is high, and so we're fighting against that with education.
Teacher Corey Keenan and her colleagues currently serve about 400 students across multiple facilities there.
I really appreciated what she was saying by saying that by giving students who are incarcerated job skills, resume building skills, the idea of creating a small business, something that is tangible, that is something of their interest, so that they can have, you know, skills when they are released to be contributing members of a society with hopes that recidivism doesn't happen again, I think is a really powerful statement. And what Placer School for Adults is doing is very powerful in that area.
Absolutely. All of the educators you've met today share one thing in common, and that's that they never give up on their students. Our final story is a celebration of just that. Rob Moreno is an AP English teacher at Antelope High School. He is the son of immigrants who became teachers and Placer County's 2026 Teacher of the Year. Take a look.
Oh, hey, Daria. He really reaches out and makes sure that every single kid feels like they are valued by him, which is something that we see a lot here in Antelope High School, but he just takes it to a whole nother level.
Good morning. What I'm hoping is that the students grow, whether it's academically or as a human being. Teaching them the social skills, the importance of being kind, having empathy.
When we got to announce to Mr. Moreno that he was going to be the Placer County Teacher of the Year, the entire staff rose to their feet. It was a standing ovation for a full minute. I think everyone on the staff really feels like Rob represents us as a school, and we are so proud to have him out there showing the world, right? Showing the state what Antelope High School is all about.
But I think you're good. I want them to be able to graduate, not just with like a 4.0. It's more than that. I want them to be able to also appreciate and value the community and have a happy life.
He's put a lot of faith in his students, and he keeps working to improve them. I think that the reward that he got is like a complete reflection of his work that he puts into us.
I would say thank you for being such an amazing teacher. He cares so deeply for his students, and like the things he does it in the intention of the people that he works with and for.
I grew up here prior to going to the high school district that I currently work in. It felt right. It felt like this was the place that I needed to be. I love the students. I can't imagine working anywhere else. And I'm very proud to be part of RJUHSD.
Rob Moreno now advances to the California Teacher of the Year competition statewide. A huge congratulations to Mr. Moreno. You must be so proud. What a story.
He's a great guy, and I was there when we were able to announce that he was not only Placer County Teacher of the Year, but we were forwarding his application to the State of California competition. And just like the principal mentioned, everybody in that library stood up and were so proud of Rob, and he is truly a leader on that campus.
Congratulations. Good luck in the statewide competition. And next time on Yours in Education, you're going to meet the young women at Antelope High School who are breaking into the most male-dominated fields in the world. Meet the future engineers proving the only requirement is determination. And a Wood Creek senior is already behind the controls of a real aircraft. Isabella Zaney's story will inspire every young woman who's ever been told to aim a little lower. New episodes drop every other month, so hit subscribe so you never miss a story. And we want to hear from you too. Leave a comment below and tell us what programs or people you think we should feature next. If you're new here, check out all our past episodes. There are plenty more stories worth watching.
Thanks for joining us on Yours in Education, and take care. We'll see you next time.